Welcome to Heal the World Show podcast, brought to you by the Healing Institute. I'm Parmelia Parham, and I'm the founder of the Healing Institute. We are a worldwide online hub of holistic practitioners, and our vision is to really create wellness and healing and spread it out throughout the whole world. So I have been using myself. I have been using holistic ways of being well and staying well for over 30 years. And so I know that it works. And all the practitioners we have at the Healing Institute really get to the root cause of what's going on with you. So we don't just look at symptoms, we find out really why are those symptoms showing up. And that is kind of a new medical model. I mean, it's certainly not new, but it's different from the medical model that we have been used to over the last, say, 50 years, which of course now we know doesn't work. So, because they only looked at symptoms, they didn't actually look at what was causing those symptoms. So the reason that I'm so passionate about health and healing is because we did have a tragedy in our family a few years ago when my mom passed away at a very young age. She was only 61, and it was due to some complications she had with a medication she'd been on for a very long time. Unfortunately, she passed away just before Christmas on December 15th. I was 5 months pregnant with my son. And I say it was not only a tragedy that she died young, but my children didn't get to know their grandmother. And I really don't want that happening for any other families. So that's why I am really passionate about educating about health and healing. And that's one of the reasons I called the Healing Institute an institute, because of the education component. We're always wanting to educate people about how to be well and how to stay well on our health journey, because we're all on a health journey. So I do this podcast, the Heal the World Show podcast, every Friday morning Pacific time, on because I'm on the west coast of Canada, and I invite amazing healers and people that are involved in the health and wellness industry. I invite them to come and be my guest co-host for a conversation. And I am just so excited to have Carolyn Cooper, the Inspired Connection, to have her here speaking with us today. And just so everyone knows, this is actually our episode 101. We had episode 100 last week, and this is our episode 101. I've been doing this podcast for over 2 years. Our theme this month is Awesome August. So of course I had to have Carolyn on because she's awesome. And we are going to be talking today. Carolyn's actually a visionary guide and transformational leader, and we're going to be talking about love-centered leadership, transforming lives and businesses for our theme of August, Awesome August. Carolyn, welcome. It's so wonderful to have you back on the podcast, because I know I've had you here a few times, but
Yes.
delighted to have you back.
Well, I'm honored to be here, and I'm always thrilled to connect with you, Parmelia, because we trek this journey of life and business together, and we share the same core values of contribution, of wellness, mental health, physical health. And our role is to educate people on the truth of what's possible in looking at solutions and what I call bringing love back in motion and back to life. And that's mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and all of it. So I'm honored to be here, and I'm looking forward to the adventure.
Yes, yes. Carolyn and I have known each other for a while, so we always have adventures when we get together, whether it's on Zoom or whether it's in person. So tell us a little bit about how this came about, your vision of love-inspired leadership. I know there's lots of leadership information out there, but I don't know, to me, it always feels kind of uh, it doesn't feel warm. It feels cold. It feels very transactional. It doesn't feel like people are really coming and from their heart. So let us know what led you to creating love-inspired leadership.
Well, it's something that I have done intentionally and never talked about it. So I have run a number of businesses. I've supported industries, organizations in providing meaningful customer service, elevating their impact on their clients. And I have just come to the wise, mature years and age and decided that I'm going to start talking about the truth. And love really is the central force of transformation within us individually, as well as within organizations. And that when we realize that love is the greatest prosperous power that we can engage with and connect with, that truth, that's when everything changes. And for me, it's my mission. It's what I'm here to do. And it's about bringing love back to life. I don't mean in a feelings way or romantic way at all, but it's a state of being. It is a guiding force, a lens through which we live and lead and heal and build a life and business of meaning, purpose, and passion, which creates the vitality, the enthusiasm, and also connect us with our calling and what matters most. And those are the most successful businesses. They are.
And what's the word that's coming up for me is heart-centered. So when we're leading our lives with heart center, when we're leading our businesses with heart center, that vibration is so powerful. So we will attract that back to us.
Well, that's the truth. Okay, so anybody who's listening right now or here, you're meant to be here. And I just want you to realize this is that it is our responsibility to function at this higher vibration of love and authenticity, because that has the most impact. That is what lands for people. They know it's the truth. And, our world right now needs us to be love inspired leaders in whatever role we play, whether it is a mother, whether it is a corporate executive running large organizations with teams of people, because it's a transmission, it's a frequency upgrade. And when you function from the lower vibration frequency, it is what I call thinking and feeling below the line, which is being undecided. It is focusing on fear, lack, worry, regret. So anything that is that lower frequency, we slow down the manifestation process on truly what we want. And when we become decided clearly on what matters most, that is the fuel that lights the fire of desire to keep moving forward, to progress to the next step. I mean, that's what you've done with the Healing Institute too. So it is a redefining of leadership by blending empathy, compassion, intuition, and really looking at the strengths to lead with purpose and intentional inspired action.
I love that. Intentional. That's so important for us to be not just letting it happen, but actually our thoughts, our words, everything that our vibration is doing it intentionally, because that's when it'll show up. And so we're going to talk a little bit about your course that's coming up, but I also want you to give us a bit of an explanation. I know we've heard that term above the line or below the line. So where is the line?
Okay, well, this concept was brought to me in my early 20s from an amazing soul called Emma. And she was my spiritual mentor. I classified her as my adopted mom. She gave me this key. And she told me the key to your dreams, the key to opportunity, the key to the freedom of having inner peace and purpose and passion and enthusiasm is to think above the line. So what is the line anyway?
Yes,
What
good
is
question.
what is the line? So I mean, I have pondered this for 50 years. I just gotta say, it's been learned in me for 50 years. This is the simplicity of what I've discovered. The line is a line of being decided.
Mm.
It's not deciding, it's being decided, right?
And that
So
would be different for everybody, right? So when you come to
absolutely,
that realization, this is where I want, this is what I want in my life. This is what I want to attract in my life. This is my purpose of my life. That's the line. Okay, I love that definition.
me too. Me too, because I live it too, and you do too. So here's the thing though, in order to be decided, I need clarity.
Mhm.
So I have to go through the process of making a decision on what matters most to me. So that includes part of what I call my 6-step aim high system. Activate your inspired mindset. The first is truth, the second is trust, and the third is value. So we need to be decided. And once we make that decision and we are decided, that's the time we open our mind to curiosity. That is the first step above the line, curiosity and wonder. I wonder who I'm going to meet. I'm curious what I'm going to learn. I'm curious what results and incredible outcomes I'm going to manifest here by being crystal clear on where I'm going. But here's the other secret piece. It is discipline to stay
Yes.
thinking, speaking, and taking intentional action above the line. And we're human. We have
Things happening in our lives.
we get distracted. We get distracted by fear, doubt, other people's expectations. There's so many things. And so what I say through my consulting, through my 6-step aim high system is it's a matter of cleaning up the clutter. It's cleaning up the distractions. It's deciding you're going to have focused energy and presence in, and the above the line is curiosity is the first step with wonder. The second is purpose and passion. Connect with your
Yes.
purpose. Absolutely ground yourself in the meaning of why you're here and what matters most there. And then you start creating this vitality and enthusiasm that's delicious. I
Love
love it.
that. Yes.
I love it. And so what happens then, so your vibration's going up, 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 up. And then you just have this opportunity of clarity, of purpose, of presence, and a position that absolutely is clear in the moment. And you can speak that truth and you magnetize those people towards you that will contribute to that dreaming big, that vision, that direction. I mean, you've lived this with the Healing Institute. I've witnessed you do this. So yes, it's change. Yes, it's being humble. Yes, it's being vulnerable to look in the mirror to decide what matters most and what's in the way. How am I limiting myself?
Mhm.
So
What am I doing that I really is not helping me get above the line or stay above the line? What things are distracting me? So
oh,
then I can identify what they are and say, maybe not say goodbye to them completely, but put them somewhere where they'll come back. And what you're saying about the vibration and the attraction, what I found is when I'm actually in that zone, that's when all of the delicious, wonderful, fabulous things show up, like out of the blue. Like, how did that happen? Well,
well,
because I was living in
how does
my
that happen, Parmelia? You share, you know.
yeah, it's it's because you're open. I've always been curious. That's one of my gifts, I believe I have now, which I say, what we got in trouble for as children, it turns out to be our gifts. Being curious, I was asking questions from a very young age, which my parents really couldn't answer, so they were a little bit frustrated with me. But I always asked questions, and because I love to learn, just like I know you love to learn, Carolyn, and I'm always like really interested in, oh, well, if that happened, then how did that, first of all, how did that happen? And secondly, what is the results of that happening? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and there's a place here that I want to invite your audience to reflect on, and that this is your life. Be you. So you have gifts and talents and expertise within you. And the only way to discover that is have this daily discipline of being self-aware of the percentage of time that you are thinking and feeling and taking intentional action above the line or below. And I guarantee you, just with the self-awareness, percentage by percentage by percentage, you'll start shifting up, rising up,
And awareness is like
aiming
the
higher.
very first step to being aware of whatever that might be, however that looks, right?
Yeah.
So you were going to share with us today something that you wrote this morning.
Oh, perfect timing because I'm okay. So what I preach and teach is what I live. And I know that authenticity is the being genuine, being real, being present in the moment is one of the most important things. And I wrote this last night and I cried reading it. So thank you for letting me read this out. So here it is. And I'll supply it to anybody who wants it that listens to this podcast. Acceptance is a radical act of love, one that asks us to meet ourselves and others just where we are, without judgment or resistance. When we choose above the line acceptance, we soften, our hearts open, our bodies relax, and our nervous system naturally shifts from defense to safety. There's no need to fight, fix, or protect. We can simply be, trusting that we are enough in this moment. This is the heart of Aim High Living, intentionally welcoming life as is, leading with love instead of fear. When we drop our armor, embrace acceptance, we reclaim our energy, restore our presence, and free ourselves to create with courage and compassion. Acceptance isn't passive.
No.
It's the most powerful doorway to peace, clarity, and authentic leadership. Let's rise together, choosing love over resistance, one breath at a time.
Wow. And when we do that for ourselves, we also do that for others. So then that resistance that we might have with a certain person or a certain situation, it diminishes. So it's not that vibration that is in the negative and below the line. Oh, that's beautiful, Carolyn. Just beautiful. Now you have started your own podcast. So let's talk a little bit about that.
I'm beyond myself excited about this podcast. I feel like I've finally come home. I feel like all these experiences, glorious experiences I've had in my life is channeled into my contribution within this podcast. It's called Love Inspired Leadership. It's on Spotify. It's on Amazon. Please go check it out. And I have had the honor of interviewing incredible people from around the world who have made the decision to be a love-inspired leader. And the universe, I call it God, is conspiring for me and bringing me these people.
Fabulous.
I've interviewed this extraordinary senator that is so brave, bold, and focused on love in her contributions. She's changed 23 laws, I think it was, and knocked on 8,000 doors.
Wow.
And was inspired by a young girl that was 8 years old to continue her mission. I mean, I cried on that one. And then I also interviewed a woman that is 4 months short of her 80th birthday. And she went through a life-changing experience in her relationship at 70 and started to be an entrepreneur at 70. Had no idea what she was
All right, everybody who's listening to this or you're watching this, it's never too late. Never too late.
So she is so inspiring. Go listen to her interview. And also I have added in beautiful meditations on vision, on aiming high, on aligning with your own inner truth and purpose and passion. My mission really is to free people to live their life as an inspired leader, personally and professionally. So I'm got interviews coming up with an incredible organization from San Francisco. This leader inspired me so much. And just listening to her story, I reached out to her on LinkedIn and she said yes. I mean, I just want the listeners to realize within each of us, we have this calling, and to take the time for silence to listen to what that has to say, and have faith and create the space for grace in order to hear what that is. I also have my new, starting next week, I told you I'm doing this, Parmelia.
Well, before we hop into that, because I do want to talk about that, but
Okay.
what I love about what you're saying as well, I just want to pick up on something that you just mentioned. We think of leadership often as that we have to lead others or we have to show an example for others, but you just mentioned being a leader for yourself. So that's really where it starts.
Well, it's the only place to start.
Yeah.
And the way the world is right now, I truly know there is leaders out there that are suffering, that are absolutely had it with their current leadership model, and they are looking for answers, looking for a position to function in a way that fuels them rather than drains them, exhausts them, puts them in stress, doubt, fear, and worry. And I know that this podcast, my vision is to impact people in 40 countries to realize the truth.
I just love that whole concept. So I'm so inspired. As always, I'm always inspired by you. And just for some people who may not know, Carolyn and I were working together, well, 4 years ago now, I think it is, when I was first envisioning what the Healing Institute was about. And Carolyn saw my vision and really helped me bring the Healing Institute to fruition. So I'm forever grateful for that. But it was also so much fun to work with you. All right, let's talk about your living above the line living 21 days to ignite your purpose, presence, and power with love. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So what I decided to do, I wanted a free gift, a contribution to people. And I didn't want it to be simple. This is simple, but I didn't want it to just be something small. So what I've created is a gift for everybody who is here who would like to receive it. And that is 21 days of daily insights and inspiration to think, live, and lead above the line. It is providing you with meditation reflections to guide you to be all you can be. It is also powerful journaling prompts
Mm.
to really open up and unlock your clarity and your spark for positive change and confidence. It's also the journey, I call it go within to win. So it's helping you take those intentional action steps to expand your opportunities and be moving toward what it is that you want. So I supply you daily a recording that's an audio recording that I record in the mornings in my pajamas.
Tell everybody what it's called.
So it's called Carolyn's Sacred Insights and Truths in My Pajamas. So I do a journal each morning and I pick up my phone and I do a recording on what that means. And this 21 days is 21 days of those recordings. And my intention is to support you to eliminate the suffering of making the decision to think and speak and choose anything below the line.
I love it. And what a beautiful gift to be able to now be able to put into practice what you've just inspired us all to do. I want to let people know and also say hello. We've got some guests in the back room. So Marie Piplovic is one of our holistic practitioners. She's an amazing conscious breathing facilitator, and she also has workshops that she helps with burnout. And Tippy Missick, she has the Neuro Fitness Academy. And Tippy's actually going to be our guest co-host the last Friday of August, which is the 28th, I think. So we're excited to have her here. Yeah, so Marie had a question. Would you say that discernment and setting very clear priorities for self are part of the process?
Oof, it's everything. So here's the piece that I want people to realize. It's not about taking a giant royal leap from where you are, across the mountain. This is the secret. This is the simpleness of this. It is simple daily actions that you commit to, that you follow through on, that create the biggest impact. So it is, and that's why the 21 day is important, because I ask you to take what is one thing you can do today. It's all about the simple steps that you incorporate daily. And because what happens is that consistency compounds. It's absolutely transformational and miraculous.
And
And
you think that's one simple step, but when you're doing it over 21 days, the compound effect does happen.
it
And
does.
so you're building on the day before, the next day, the week of. So Marie also says, I like the saying about you stay in your lane and I'll stay in mine. This helps me when comparison starts creeping in.
It's so true. And being in comparison is distraction.
Yeah.
And I'm going to invite everyone here. The last little tidbit is this. And I did this, changed my life. So write down on the left-hand side of your page everything you love about your life or your business, and just track it over a couple of weeks. I love this. I love this. Parmelia, you know it. So this would be part on my list. On the right-hand side, write down what frustrates you, what drains your energy, what doesn't work, what limits you, the limiting thoughts, the limiting actions, the limiting decisions. And that's your let go list. So none of this is going to transform overnight. It's small steps that make the big difference. We know this in life. We know it. So
Tippy wants a copy, and so Tippy, you'll get a copy. It's in the chat, so you can pick up a copy. Yes, and Marie's last comment was beautiful. So yes, it is. It's been a beautiful discussion that we've had, a beautiful conversation, as we always do. When we're not recording, Carolyn and I can talk for hours. So, but this has just been so delightful to have you as my guest co-host. And just my heart is full with all the beautiful, wonderful things that you're creating, because that is really, really, truly above the line and really, really, truly sending out those amazing, positive, beautiful vibrations of love, because that's what we want to get back. So
And I
as you know, our vision is to create a community of expert health practitioners, which we have. I mentioned earlier on the podcast that all of our fabulous practitioners really get to the root cause of what's going on with you. So please go the QR code that's behind me. Always never know what side I am. That will take you directly to the website. Our motto is service with love. That is our motto. And we have a big ask. We really would like for you to share this podcast, let your community, your family, your colleagues, let people know about us, about the Healing Institute, about the amazing healers and people that we have that are part of our Healing Institute. And you got to meet another amazing person today, Carolyn Cooper. Thank you so much for being part of the Healing Institute podcast.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I look forward to coming back again.
All
Too.
right, we'll make that happen for sure. Thanks.